Gender pronouns. Formerly known as ladies and gentlemen, I have quite the hallucinogenic story to tell. Not so long ago, I was trapped in Limbo, where I inhabited the body of some preteen girl in the 1980s. And it honestly felt like a really cheap movie, because at first, it seemed like they could only afford the bedroom set. Little did I know how trippy, fun, and wonderful Limbo can be once you start playing the game. As soon as I stopped moping around the set that was now my home, I discovered the bitch whose body I was in had a Sega Genesis. So, total score, right? Well, I was thinking I was boned when I discovered she only had one game, Max Cloud. Luckily for me, this was the exact game cart I needed to win a game I didn't even know I was playing. What was so special about this game? Well, it sucked me right into the game world, faster and harder than a transgender hooker looking to pay for her new vajayjay. Being sucked that hard into an entirely new world is fucking discombobulating. It's like when the lasser lad keeps sucking past climax, just to torture you with extreme pleasure, like some kind of angel-demon hybrid, who escaped from Guantanamo with the latest interrogation techniques. Once I adjusted to the game world, abided by its rules, and found my own playstyle, I realized I kicked total ass in Limbo. So, maybe this Limbo is something else entirely. As soon as I had mastered the game world of Max Cloud, I was thrust into the world of Matt Hazard, which meant it's time to force feed some corrupt shadow figures hot sticky loads of justice and lead. Mostly lead, though. Since the game was from the 7th generation, it only took an afternoon to beat that bastard into submission. I was then slung into some forgotten cable TV classic, where I kept getting beat like a little boy's dick who had just discovered masturbation. It turns out letting writers control your experience kinda sucks. Sure, in the game world, I was on a path the designer had created for me, but I had the illusion of agency, thanks to my choice in playstyle, and on top of that, the game worlds tended to be more power fantasies than moralistic lessons like the scripted screen fare I was now stuck in. Don't get me wrong, watching these stories play out is an utter delight, but playing in them is a whole other story. You kinda just have to let go and watch things happen to yourself. It's like an out-of-body experience had a baby with an acid trip. And meanwhile, that baby met the baby of a Molly and shroom trip, and then those babies fucked. And yeah, anytime baby fucking's involved, well, that's a sure sign that things are gonna get trippier than a weekend at Bernie's. After that, I had the unfortunate time of landing in another pre-teenage girl's body. Now, I want this to be perfectly clear. I never, ever did the Fred thing of checking myself out naked. I'm not sure if we had consent to view the pics from the fappening, but I sure as shit know I had no consent, nor did I want consent, to see the body I was now in naked. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thankfully, this experience was brief, but eye-opening. Okay. I peeked at her body, and the issue with that was, I then felt all this girl's insecurities. And instead of being able to enjoy myself, I was just left feeling sorry for her. And all I really wanted to do then was to help her get her life on track. It was then that I realized I might actually be doing some kind of quantum leap shit. This might not be Limbo after all. And in that case, fuck it. I may never want to take the leap back home. My life back home was predictable, and yes, that made it cozy and comfy. But after all these new and perspective-altering experiences, how could I ever go back to a life that now feels more like a dream than this Limbo leap does? All I had to do was lose myself in the experience I was presently in. Nothing before or after mattered at that moment, except in my subconscious, as a kind of guide map to making the proper choices, and also understanding this weird, fucked up reality of ours. I began to wonder if these events were staged, if I had any true impact on them. But a greater thought began to take hold. How do I know that I've not altered these quantum worlds in some way? For all I know, each time I leap, I might be saving a world that was otherwise doomed to fear, pain, and tears. The one thing I am sure of, each time I leap, I get further and further away from my fear, pain, and tears. Not so far away that they're gone for good, but far enough away that they've become long-lost friends, and not some heartless pursuing tormentors. That's when a little spark of madness hit me. The journey was never about taking a leap home. It was about taking the step and leap beyond home, and into the great unknown. Won't you join me?
I'm retarded?
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.